Good morning, nerds. What's up? It's your boy, the OG GM, coming to you mostly live with a bit of a headache here at Site B on a Memorial Day Monday morning, the last Monday of May 2023. It's about 8:30 here in the morning. It's Memorial Day, so hopefully you had a nice 3-day weekend and you're barbecuing and enjoying the sun, unless you live where I live. Then you haven't seen the sun since last year. But I don't even know what the sun is anymore. It's an illusion. It's time to look at all the tabletop role-playing game news that are starting the week, all the stories that we are going to chart our sails by, set our direction to, and see how the week will play out based upon the stories that are percolating at the beginning here of this week, this last week, first week of summer, last week of spring, whatever you want to call it. June is just a hop, skip, and a jumping away, and things always percolate between June and September, especially with Gen Con and SDCC coming up. Obviously, the number one story is Candela Obscura from our friends over at Darrington Press. Their first unique D6 system that they have created of the 2 role-playing games they have promised us this year. Yes, they promised us role-playing games last year and they got delayed, but whatever. Okay, so we know we have Illuminated Worlds coming out, which is a D6 dice pool system, similar to Fate. We have Candle Obscura, which is the first campaign set using Illuminated Worlds. So it's slightly different than the core Illuminated Worlds system. So we still haven't seen the core Illuminated Worlds system, and we haven't been able to test it yet. But we've seen Candle Obscura and the quick start for Candle Obscura, which is a world-specific setting using Illuminated Worlds, the D6 dice pool system. And so far, we're not that impressed with it. I haven't heard the numbers for the first live play yet, but the reviews I'm getting for the system are, I mean, it's basically Fate. It's basically Fate / Blades in the Dark. The guy pretty much just took stuff from Blades in the Dark that he liked, added a few other things to it, and then re-released it as Candle Obscura. Now, is this going to be what Illuminated Worlds looks like? Because there's a lot of things in Candle Obscura we're not that happy about, and it just sort of feels kind of So considering his Critical Role, we were expecting better, but just because they're brilliant designers and brilliant players, when it comes to actually creating their own system, let's face it, so far Darrington Press's batting average has not been great. So there's a lot riding on the fate of Illuminated Worlds and the fate of the forthcoming Dagger to the Heart, whether these games will be the games that take the critters out of 5e or not. But if you're interested in finding out more about Candela Obscura or the Obscure Candle, the quick start rules are available on the Darrington Press website and drive-through. Now moving on to the 30th anniversary of Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. Renegade Press is continuing to do an amazing job creating product for the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers role-playing game and advertising and merchandising and making people aware that the franchise is still out there. In fact, they're doing a much better job than Hasbro is doing with promoting the 30th anniversary of Power Rangers, as we still have not seen much coming out from Cosmic Fury. And let's face it, that 30th anniversary special on Netflix was kind of disappointing. But we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 new products coming out for the Power Rangers role-playing game, including some new figures and a new expansion. So yes, Renegade is definitely trying to do a much better job of advertising, merchandising, and making people aware of the Power Rangers role-playing game and the 30th anniversary of Power Rangers than Hasbro actually is. Hasbro, maybe you want to step up and do a better job. I don't know. Maybe I'm just saying. I don't know. All right, what's going on in the world of tabletop role-playing game that has nothing to do with Pathfinder, Paizo, not Paizo, God, headache. It has nothing to do with World of the Coast. Well, we have the second edition of What's Old is New is currently available. You can get the starter set, which comes with 3 beginner campaigns. This is an attempt to make a sort of generic system. Apparently, this is the second edition. I have asked multiple people if they ever heard of the first edition, or if they ever played it. So far, the answer has been no. So if anybody knows anything about What's Old is New, please let me know. Pathfinder At PaizoCon over the weekend, Pathfinder Paizo showed us the current covers for the forthcoming re-release, remastered, whatever they're calling it, of Pathfinder 2E. And as of now, the official name is Pathfinder Teeny Little Second Edition Core. Nowhere on it does it say remastered. Nowhere on it does it say part of the ORC. So as of today, this morning, it is Pathfinder Second Edition Core. What happened to remaster? I don't know. What is Infinity? I don't know. Somebody told me Infinity is their version of the DM's Guild. So it's a third-party project that allows people to create content for Pathfinder Second Edition or Starfinder. So yeah. And then they're also doing something through VTT, which we'll get to from a second. So it does feel like now the official name is Pathfinder Second Edition Core. Nowhere on the covers did we see the words remaster. Nowhere on the covers did we see the word ORC. Could this change? I don't know. They're apparently changing a lot more things like ancestries, and they're getting rid of alignments. Of course, they're adding new artwork because, you know, we got to justify you buying the new books. But much like their competitor, they are claiming that this is not a new edition. But you do have to buy the new books, and they are changing things, which means it is a new edition, by my point of view. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. Somebody said I was wrong. So I don't know. If you change things and I have to buy 3 new books because you changed enough things that it requires 3 new books, then yeah, it's a new edition. If otherwise, why? There's no reason. But that's just me. If you disagree with me, please let me know why without, you know, insulting me or sending me death threats, because then I will just ignore you. And speaking of Pathfinder, Demi-Plane Net 6 is up and running and now compatible with your phone. So if you ever wanted to be completely frustrated by trying to get Pathfinder to work on your digital processing system of choice, be it laptop, desktop, tablet, phone, watch, whatever the next thing is, you can now do the same thing with the Pathfinder Nexus that you can do with D&D Beyond on your computer, laptop, desktop, tablet, cell phone, watch, whatever. And that is be incredibly frustrated, spending anywhere up to 20 minutes. You've heard my 20-minute story. 20 minutes to find one ruling on the digital thing, because I don't care what anybody says, the books are still better. But now you can do the exact same thing with the Pathfinder Nexus, which is sort of free, much like D&D Beyond. Tales from the Valiant's Kickstarter has started. They've released an updated of everything that they've playtested so far. So if you want to be all caught up with Kobold Press's Tales from the Valiant, no, it's not a 5e ripoff. Yes, it is a 5e ripoff. The Kickstarter has gone live. It was fully funded in 30 minutes. You get 2 books when it is finally made. $50, I believe, is the starter price to get on to the next round of Kickstarters, playtesting, and make sure you get the final PDFs when they're done a year from now. So if you want to pay to be able to continue to playtest Tales from the Valiant, bare minimum $50, or you could wait another month for whatever they're putting on the website to become free, because they're now sort of saying you can also get it free. You just have to wait. I don't know. We'll see. I'm already pretty much not very impressed with what I've seen so far. And the fact that I'm going to have to pay $50 if I want to continue playtesting just really sours me. Anybody who took part of the paid playtesting for the new Marvel role-playing game that was done on Amazon last year knows that, yeah, paying to play test something, if I'm not even going to get my name in it or a free copy of the final product, especially considering how disappointing the Marvel Multiverse role-playing game was, then I don't know if that's something I want to do. Speaking of the Marvel Multiverse role-playing game, see how I did that? We've got an update. Apparently there's been a lot of changes to the playtest. They have now once again streamlined actions. They apparently have changed the math maybe again, using the same mechanic. You roll 3d6, add up the numbers, add the ability score, and compare it to the target number. Damage will be determined by the special Marvel dice, then requiring a separate roll as well. Power sets have been changed. There's now 21. 300 individual powers available. So the hardcover will soon be up available on August 1st with a $60 price. So apparently they have changed the rules, though they're still adding the weird rules to try and make it gimmicky. And you have to buy special dice. So, I don't know. Am I going to pay $50 for this? No, I'm not. There is only one Marvel Universe role-playing game, and that is Phase Rip Marvel. So that's the one. The 2023 nominees for the prestigious Spel des Haas Award for Tabletop Board Games has been announced this week. The 3 nominees for the biggest game of the year are Challengers, Icky, and Planet Unknown. The nominees for children's game this year are Carla Carmel, Gigamon, and Mysterium Kids, Captain Echoes. And the game of the year nominees are Dorfomantic, Fun Facts, and Next Station London. So if you are a board game person, this means a lot to you, and we will see the winners announced in July 16th. If anybody knows anything about the board games I just mentioned, please let me know, because I'd love to find out about them. Looks like the Embeaser Group has just posted a disappointing annual financial report for shareholders. Okay, so who are these guys? They are the holders of the Asmodee, who are the owners of Edge Studio, and they are also the current holders for Square Enix, which means they own Tomb Raider and Deus Ex, and they are the ones who bought the rights to the Tolkien estate, which means they are currently the people who are in charge of Middle-earth and Lord of the Rings. Whatever that means, we don't know. But the stock has dropped 40%, which isn't great. So maybe they'll sell off Lord of the Rings and Tomb Raider and Deus Ex. Who knows? Yeah. So if you aren't familiar, Embracer Group are currently the holders to Middle-earth and Lord of the Rings from the Tolkien estate. What does that mean for the other people who've been making product using Middle-earth, Lord of the Rings, Tolkien stuff, like Free League and Wizards of the Coast? Don't know. We'll see. Probably nothing. Probably they're just paying them some small amount of money to continue to use the license, and probably sharing profits if there are any. And that appears to be it for all the tabletop role-playing game, not Wizards of the Coast news. Let's take a break before we jump on that Wizards of the Coast grenade. If you haven't had a chance to subscribe yet, please subscribe. Help me hit 2,000 subs by the end of the year. Don't forget I have merch available, including Wretched Vigilantes, which you can pick up over at the Red Room or Big Geek Emporium. And I'll be back with you in a minute. I am the OG GM. Appreciate you sticking with me today. See ya.